Yes, children, let us start with the potential difference. Before starting potential difference, we should know flow of electrons between the conductors. When two charged conductors are joined by a metallic wire, free electrons flow from a conductor having higher concentration of electrons to the conductor having low concentration of electrons. This is clear to you by this example. You can see there are two conductors A and B in the figure. A conductor is having positive charge and B conductor is uncharged. Uncharged means it has no positive, no negative charge, a normal body B. And this A conductor is having positive charge. How it acquires A charge? Positive charge? It acquires positive charge by losing electron. Whenever a body loses electron, it acquires a positive charge. Now, these two conductors are connected with this metal wire in order to connect A and B. Now, the direction of flow of electron will be, according to what we have read, is from higher concentration to lower concentration. Now, obviously, this A conductor is having positive charge. It means it has less electrons as compared to uncharged conductor. Thus, the concentration of electron is more in B than in A. An electron will flow from higher concentration to low, that is, electron will flow from B to A. So, direction of flow of electron is from B to A. Similarly, we can discuss the another example. There are two conductors again, A and B. A is having negative charge this time. How it acquires negative charge? By gaining more electrons. Fine. And this is an uncharged conductor. Now tell me which one is having more electrons. Obviously the one which is having the negative charge is having more concentration or higher concentration of electron. And thus the flow of electron through a metal wire is from A conductor to B conductor, from higher concentration of electron to low concentration of electron. Like if we look at another example, in this there are two conductors A and B. A is having negative charge, B is having positive charge. Metal wire is there in order to connect A and B. So what will be the direction of flow of electron? Again from higher to lower concentration of electron. Higher concentration of electron is obviously in A because it is having negative charge, excess of electrons it has. Whereas B is having less concentration of electron because it is having positive charge by losing electrons. So the direction of flow of electron is from A to B. This is very simple and it should be clear to you. Alright. After that, what will be the direction of the electric current? Direction of electric current. We have already studied about electric current. An electric current is a scalar quantity. Do remember. It has only magnitude but no direction. But conventionally, current always flow from the positive terminal of the cell towards the negative terminal of the cell. That is the conventional flow of electron, direction of flow of electron. Alright. So, in terms of potential, in terms of electrons, how we come to know? Always remember the direction of flow of current is opposite to the direction of flow of electrons. Means in this example there are two conductors A and B. A is having positive charge, B is having negative charge. So electrons will flow from higher concentration to lower concentration. High concentration of electrons, high concentration will be in the negative conductor. So electron will flow from B to A. Obviously, if electrons are flowing from B to A, the current will flow from A to B because direction of flow of current is always opposite to the direction of flow of electrons. Now, another thing you have to remember is the conductor which is having positive charge is at high potential, is said to be at high potential. whereas the conductor which is having negative charge is said to be at low potential. Another thing you have to remember that the flow of electron will continue from one conductor to another conductor until the concentration of electrons balance. Means whenever the difference of electron concentration is there, then only the electron will flow, and if electrons will flow, the current will continue to flow. But in any case, if the concentration of electron balances both the side, the flow of electron stops. And if flow of electron stops, no electron will flow further, the current will also stop flowing. So what is essential for the flow of current? The difference in concentration of electrons. And because of this difference of concentration of electron, there is a potential difference. The body which is having positive charge is said to be at high potential, and the body which is at negatively charged is said to be at low potential. So there is a difference in potential. One is at high and another one is at low. There is a difference in potential, and because of this potential difference, there is a flow of current. So the cell is the source of current. This we have studied, that the cell or a battery is a source of current, and the two terminals of the cell, the positive and the negative terminal of the cell, there is a difference of potential. They maintain the difference of potential, then only they supply the current. Alright, so now we will move on to the potential difference, the definition of potential difference, which you have to learn. The potential difference between two conductors is equal to the work done in transferring a unit positive charge from one conductor to the other conductor. Fine. So potential difference is nothing but it is equal to work done. How much work we are doing in transferring a unit positive charge from one conductor to another. Here also, if we take this example, in this example also we are transferring a charge from one conductor to another conductor, and the work done in carrying that charge, unit charge, that is called potential difference. Okay? So potential difference between two conductors is equal to work done in transferring a unit charge, positive charge, from one conductor to another. The formula for potential difference is V is equal to W upon Q. What is W here? W is the work done. What is Q here? Q is the charge, and V denotes the potential difference. So the mathematical expression for potential difference is V is equal to W upon Q. You have to learn this formula. On the basis of this formula, you have to solve few of the numericals also. Again, potential difference is a scalar quantity. Current is a scalar quantity. Potential difference is also a scalar quantity. Now we have to find the SI unit of potential difference. For finding the SI unit of potential difference, first look at the formula. V is equal to W upon Q. So we can find the value, we can find the unit of potential difference by using the unit of W and Q. So unit of work upon unit of charge. What is unit of work? It is joule. Unit of charge is coulomb. So we write joule upon coulomb. So 1 joule upon 1 coulomb becomes equal to 1 volt. So the SI unit of potential difference is 1 volt. And 1 volt is equal to, it can be defined as, potential difference between 2 points is said to be 1 volt if work done in transferring 1 coulomb of charge from one point to another is 1 joule. You have to learn the definition of 1 volt. Potential difference is said to be 1 volt if work done in transferring 1 coulomb of charge from one point to the other point is 1 joule. Fine. Now the instrument which is used to measure the potential difference is called voltmeter. Voltmeter. What is voltmeter? Voltmeter is an instrument which is used to measure the potential difference between any 2 points of a circuit. The symbol used for the voltmeter is this. It also has two terminals. One is positive terminal, another one is negative terminal. The positive terminal of the voltmeter is connected to the positive terminal of the cell. Negative terminal of the voltmeter is connected to the negative terminal of the cell. Fine. Voltmeter is always connected in parallel to the load. This is the diagram of an electric circuit which we have discussed earlier also, and in that we left this voltmeter. Fine. So voltmeter is a device, is an instrument which is used to measure the potential difference across the circuit. Fine. And it is connected in parallel to this bulb. You can see. Whereas what is this? This is ammeter. It is an instrument which is used to measure the current in the circuit. Fine. And it is connected in series. So do remember these points. Voltmeter connected in parallel, ammeter connected in series. After that, next thing is insulators and conductors. Very familiar topic. Insulators are the substances which do not allow the current to flow through them. They are called insulators. Examples are wood, paper, glass, rubber, plastic, cotton, etc. Conductors are those substances which allow the current to flow through them easily and are called conductors. All metals like copper, aluminium, silver, iron, brass, steel are conductors. Human body is also the good conductor. Fine. After that, next thing is closed and open circuits. Now what are closed and open circuits? The path along which current flows is called a circuit. Current flows only if, now listen very carefully, current flows only if the circuit is complete or closed. If the circuit is open or incomplete, current does not flow. It means for the flow of current, what condition is required? The circuit should be complete. The circuit should be closed. Like if we see this diagram, this is a cell, this is the A terminal and B terminal, suppose positive, negative, whatever, and it is connected with a metal wire to this bulb. Now the circuit, you can see from A, the current is flowing because the circuit is complete. It is closed and thus the bulb is glowing. Now in the next diagram, again the two terminals are there, A and B of a cell, and they are connected to the bulb. But the metal wire is broken here at this point, which shows that the circuit is incomplete. The circuit becomes open, and if the circuit becomes open, it means current won't flow. And if current doesn't flow, then the bulb won't glow. So current only flows when the circuit is complete. Fine. So for an electric circuit to be complete, each component of it must pass current through it. That is, it should be conducting. If there is an insulator in the path, or if the circuit is broken, the circuit is incomplete and the current will not flow through it. Fine. Like this C part, you can say. Now the bulb is connected with the terminal A with the metal wire, but it is connected to the terminal B with the help of a thread. Metal wire is obviously a good conductor, but thread is an insulator. So current starts flowing from the metal wire, but here there is an insulator. Current won't flow out in the lower part, and thus the circuit becomes incomplete, or you can say open. And in this case, the bulb does not glow. So if in any case the circuit is broken somewhere, or there is something wrong with the components, or there is an insulator in between, the circuit is said to be incomplete or open. With this topic, we have completed our chapter. So please go through this. Thank you.